Wow. Welcome to DogStar. Each week we interview a star of rap and R&B, and this week we're sitting down with HIGHQ.
Heyo.
Q, how you
What's
feeling?
good? I'm feeling grand-tastic. How about yourself?
Feeling good.
Just peaches.
Feeling honored to have you in, taking time out of your schedule to
Hey, likewise.
share your story with us and the
Yeah.
listeners.
Let's dive on in.
Yeah,
Let's say we hop in the time machine.
exactly.
Hop in the DeLorean, exactly.
So we know you were working with a lot of artists from Mankato. Are you from Mankato?
Yes, sir, I am.
So born in Mankato. What's the family situation like? Who would have been in charge of the radio before
yes.
you were old enough to pick the stuff?
That is a great question. Honestly, I would say my mom's.
Okay. And how was
Mom's-
her music taste?
It was more so like R&B. It was a little bit of R&B. It's a little bit of pop. Like
Nice.
whatever was on the radio. Usually rocking the 99.1, 96.7. You know, Stump Monkey. Y'all know Stump Monkey? Cato legend. Anyways, but yeah, whatever was just like the top 40 hits. But then whenever we were at home, she was always playing the jams. So like playing some. We just went to a concert a few summers back to Shaka Khan.
Oh, yeah.
So Shaka Khan, I would say some older school like Luther Vandross, which he's just like popping off right now, and Kendrick Sample. So my mom's just getting a kick out of that.
Nice.
But like
Music.
that's where like I come in, because then she would bump the R&B, but then also like just the funniest like contemporary hip hop as well.
Nice.
So like when Panda was big,
Oh, right.
the designer,
Yeah.
like she was just like, oh, this sounds like it's in one of those like Fast and Furious movies or something. So
I love that.
like her reasoning was just like hilarious. But then you listen to a song like Panda, you're like, really?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like she got the right vibe from it. That's the vibe we're all getting from Panda.
Exactly.
Like, I
Okay.
feel like this is, like cool car
Right.
music. Like, that's
She's
cool. Was
cultured.
she making music at all, or like
she
playing
a singer?
instruments?
No, not really. Like she was in choir in her college years, but that was about it. Like once that was done, that was basically it.
And any other sources in your family that like maybe we should have predicted that you would get into making music one day?
Yeah, any musical siblings?
Great grandfather invented the
Ukulele.
You're right.
No, actually, really it was just like my uncle
Okay.
on my dad's side. He's just like he's a bass player. And we were performing at or not we, sorry. I say we. I was just a groupie back then. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm the nephew."
I'm
to the
backstage.
bass player. Yeah, right. But really we were at like the equivalent here would be like Sky Zone, like the Wild Zone of
Nice.
Mankato. It was so hilarious, and I just like I looked up to that.
Yeah.
Borderline envy, but I didn't really know what that was as a kid. But I was like, oh, like to be in a band, to just like be up on that stage. I think that was probably like even the first times I was like, oh, cool.
Whoa.
I didn't think like the stage or just that presence would mean everything to me as it does now. But just like looking back, I was like, oh yeah, like that's cool.
That's awesome. And so, as a young kid, were you doing like entertainment style stuff? Like, were you in like plays in school or?
Singing in choir.
Yeah, whenever I could start like singing in the choir would be the earliest. So if you want to date that back to like music class.
Yep.
As a
Grade
little
5,
bit.
grade 6.
Exactly, right. So like that, and that was just like, okay, like this is music. It didn't really, obviously like math felt more of like a chore or like, any other class would, but just music just felt like it was always going to be something that I would pursue. I don't know. I just got like that feeling like secondhand, or I got that feeling even just as a little kid. I was like, oh, like this is music. Like it's just a way of learning. It's a way of life. It's a way, whatever.
Best
So
class of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Let me ask you this. Can you recall any times where you were either in front of the class, in front of the school, at a spring concert where you were given a solo, a taste of that spotlight that your uncle
Not-
had?
Yeah, no, not until like high school.
Okay.
I didn't really get that until high school, but it was honestly it was a long time coming, and it was worth the wait. So I think I needed that journey, that to be humbled and to
The build up
to,
too.
yeah, my Rocky Balboa story. just in the
Exactly.
making.
Who were your like influences, like your musical influences, whether it was a voice that sounded larger than life that your mom was playing, or a music video that kept circulating online?
Yeah, I think for the longest time, and it's cheesy, but I think there's beauty in it. It's like the Black Eyed Peas.
Mm.
You
Oh
look at
yeah,
them and
baby.
you're like, oh, what? Like, this guy's bumping the Black Eyed Peas right now. Like, but then, you take it back to when it actually was in its circulation of, being played. It's still played and it's a banger now.
Right.
It's a banger now just as it was, but just like back then, you could tell why.
Mm.
And I don't know, I think it's just that the confidence that they bring is sort of that style. I wouldn't just base my entire identity off of Black Eyed Peas now, but
Right.
like to just say that, moving forward, like making music like they do, they just had like some sort of swagger. They just had like that confidence. They didn't really care. Not the lack of care, but I don't know. I'm reaching for a word here.
Almost like effortless.
Effortless, yeah. It's a little bit more, yeah, just contemporary, laid back, that sort of deal. And I think that's where I kind of garnered that a little bit.
That's
cool.
so cool. Yeah.
Hey, preach.
When did you start writing? So a lot, your lyricist. Were you doing like poetry or like creative writing before you wrote your first song, or was songwriting your first kind of express yourself through words venture?
Yeah. I'd say that, like, really, what really got me into that was just like rhyming and rapping. And I had friends that would like freestyle ever so
Okay.
often, like in high school. And I couldn't keep up, so I was like, oh, whatever. Like, that wasn't, it was a new nature to me that I was not trying to tap into. And then I would say, really bringing that performance aspect to it, bringing the art to the artist. I got tapped into theater, and that was kind of just where I just let loose. I was like, okay, no, like, let's dive deep into myself. Let's rub it all across the wall for you guys to see, that sort of mentality about it.
That's tight. So theater in high school or before
Yeah.
that?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Do you remember what your first play was?
Oh, man. The locals that are going to watch this are going to like cheese right now. Like, my coming of age was my sophomore year in high school, and it was High School Musical. And that
Oh,
was my first ever show.
that's nice.
And I was Troy Bolton.
in it to win it.
Yeah.
Well, we're all in this together here on DogStar with HIGHQ.
That's so
I
legendary.
think theater in high school is like throwing you into the deep end of emotion. You
No,
know what I mean?
literally.
Like,
No, because I just was referred by my choir teacher. I was like, okay, I'm just going to sing a little 16 bars or whatever that is. I don't
Right.
even know how to read music yet.
Wow.
Like, I don't know. It was, yeah.
But it was a musical too, so you could sing at that point. Were you like known as a singer at that point, or how did they know that you could be the lead in a musical?
and did you think singing was cool?
I did. Yes, I did.
High
think
School
singing-
Musical that came out, singing was super cool.
You
at
got to
that
get your
point.
head in the game. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, kind of, sort of, not really. Like, I had a little solo as a freshman, but it was like 5 seconds. It was, so I didn't really, I was like, oh yes, like I finally did something. Like, I'm proud of myself for even trying. So then,
Right.
like, the next year, the teacher was like, hey, so, like, remember the 5 seconds that you had on the stage? So you should go try out for this musical.
Dang.
And I was like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, like, I'm good with ensemble. Boom. I'm okay to just maybe. I was hoping for Chad's part. I really wanted to have just that nice thick cake in my hands, because I'm a big back
Yeah.
in my spare time. So yeah, food is my second passion when it's not music.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
We'll have to get some recipes from you after the show.
Yeah, what do you mean? Eating food or making food or?
It's just eating food.
Ah, yeah. Well, I can relate to that. Food is also my
Let me
passion.
ask you this. You know, it's years and years later. What lessons did you learn from theater that you still use in your stage presence today? Like even if it's basic stuff, you know, that might have been foreign to you in 9th, 10th, 11th grade.
I think the biggest thing for probably the longest time, and I like come back to it, I feel every now and then, is fake it till you make it. And it's crazy because I think a lot of what I preach or what I try to articulate is genuinity or just being genuine. So I think it was more so in just not how I was like, yeah, confidence I think was a big thing, and just bringing that in everything, every bit, every ounce of what I do, if that makes sense.
Oh, it does. That's huge though.
Like, yeah, I and for a while it was like the power posing, just, you know, feel good about yourself. Like obviously they can tell that you're scared on stage. So what are you gonna do? Like, and I don't know. Then it got to a point where I was like performing, just going crazy because I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I'm gonna scream on stage, you know, for this one part. And then it gets to a point where like my voice is sore, and then I'm like, oh, well, what do I do? And gotta fake it till you make it. So I just, you know, I'm not hurt. I'm professionally gaslighting myself is what I'm doing, you know, like, and now I can say that because I get paid to do that now.
That's
so
good.
that's where we are.
No, that's a huge lesson that some people never learn within their lifetime, let alone are able to apply it to their artistry in daily life.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And I mean, looking back on it now, were you like locked into this goal to like, you know, make a living behind a mic or in front of a camera? Like, was that like, were you like, this is what I want to do, or was it just kind of like where you ended up?
Nah, yeah, no, it was basically where I ended up. I guess, I mean, to be fair, beforehand, I didn't have a full sense of what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, or anything like that. So I think it was like a moment of relief, but it was also like, I mean, that discovery was a moment of, I would say, rediscovery. Like I would say it's finding a more grown, a more just deep, more depth to myself, if that resonates with.
Yeah, no,
my
that's
fellow
huge.
artists.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, obviously having a lead in the play, like that would be huge.
I mean, funny enough that like makes me, but it's like, oh no, like, you know, I can do whatever I want to set my mind to. It's not too ridiculous. You know, everybody wants to be like the NFL player or whatever. That was me too, but then I was like, no, like this is actually, like, this is fun. Like, and I can do that, and it is okay. Like,
and then how long was it like, oh, I'm gonna be in theater or musical theater? Like, I'm sure that grabbed your attention after doing well in a performance like that, but was it like, what brought you back to like writing your own music or like singing more outside of on stage?
That's a great question. To be honest, like looking back, there wasn't, I think, a monumental piece in just like my music and my literature, so to speak. I was searching for a while, but my driving situation was a little sketchy. So, you know, obviously I could have came to the cities, but I couldn't drive. I didn't have a car yet. And I was like, okay, like find me anywhere in Mankato and I'll sing. So for the longest time I was searching, just because like I didn't even have anything written yet. I just wanted to go and like see and experience and just breathe that, take that in, live in that moment. And there was like a studio drop from what I remember, from what I was looking at, and maybe my resources weren't the best, but like this is me as a teen in middle school, right? Like, and, you know, developing into high school, where I was like, okay, like let me look for something. And it wasn't until, fast forward a few years later after that, where then I discovered Dylan, otherwise known as Demo.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And Mock Production Studios really took it to that next level, because they were like the first people that I discovered. They discovered me, and we worked well immediately off the hook. So that propelled me to think, oh my God, like I can do this, like this, I can do this side of things. I can write, I can publish it, and yeah, it's out forever. People may not like it. They might like it, who knows? But it's just like I can do the full process of this. So I think that was like an awakening. I'm not entirely sure about like the discovery of doing the music. I think I just started writing rhymes in my notebook, in my notepad, in my iPhone, and I was just like, oh hey, cool. Like I could do this to a beat. I could,
Right.
I don't know.
Do you remember the first like full verse that you recorded? Or I mean, we obviously were digging around to try to find the earliest stuff, but
Yeah, how
I
was
mean,
that? How'd that go for you?
We'll ask you. What the earliest one is. I mean, it might not be up anymore. So, but can you remember what it was like, or like what the song was about?
It might not be. I would say like my first. I put some stuff out on SoundCloud, but that was just like beats and stuff. Unless
yeah, how'd you get into
into
production? What were you producing those beats on?
Yeah, I was going crazy on GarageBand.
Nice.
Yeah, I would often find it in like my travel. I think the best time for me to just create is like when I'm traveling, and just finding that solace in, you're not at point A, you're not at point B. It's like that in between, and I'm just like, okay, what can we make out of this?
That's so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Traveling here nationally, jet setting internationally, a little bit of both.
Yeah, I'm a little private jet. I drink my glass of champagne. Yeah, no. Yeah, I would say, yeah, nationally, internationally, anytime, because you're always traveling somewhere different the next time around.
Right.
Like the route I took today was different than yesterday. And I'm not gonna be like, I'm not saying that I'm on my phone while driving,
Right.
by any means, which I don't for writing anyways.
You're right.
But yeah, just it makes me feel present, just because you recognize, okay, like I'm on the move.
We're staying present here with HIGHQ on DogStar.
Make sure to follow him on Instagram, HIGHQ.music, HIGHQ.music. HIGHQ, all one word, everywhere, right? Like
Yes,
that's
sir.
SoundCloud, Spotify, Snapchat. If you're trying to get in touch, I believe that's correct, and Apple Music.
We're going to be right back talking more about the discography, about the timeline leading up to what's on the horizon. Stick with us here on DogStar.
We'll be right back. Bow wow.
Bow wow.
Bow wow.
Bow wow.
Bow wow.
Sitting down with HIGHQ.
Here on DogStar.
Q for short. Talking about the early years being creative in high school. Were your friends creative, or like trying to do music and like theater stuff?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably where I found that support, was the friend groups, the friendships that I had. They were in. I'd say that my main circle was the choir peeps.
Nice.
If you've ever been in choir, there's like a huge choir circle. It's just like a mafia.
Oh, I mean, band mafia, theater mafia, choir mafia.
Eyes and ears everywhere. It is not, yeah. It makes it fun though.
That is.
Like, I don't know. So I'd say that's where I kind of made a good. That's where I spent a whole lot of my time.
Right.
Yeah.
I spent a good chunk of time.
That's the
just,
hub.
Singing, yeah, the hub, and rehearsing, and yeah, and then a few of us tried out for the musical, and funny enough, they're also working their way in. They're doing their own music thing right now too. So
That's so awesome.
yeah, and I couldn't have done it without them, in a way, just because it's like they were the influence in that part. They jokingly wanted to make music too, like, hey man, at the lunch table, hey man, let's freestyle, hey, drop a beat, and it was like, 2 bars of pure cheeks. Like it's
Yeah.
it's not much, but yeah, just kind of just opening that door, holding that space for that environment was pretty beneficial.
I wanted to ask if you had ever taken the stage at school for an original song, or if that was more so outside of school, singing outside of school.
Yeah, no, it was always outside of school. I really started performing in my college days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stuck with it after high school. That's dope.
Thank you. And I don't know, it wasn't even like necessarily like my music per se. Like I was starting out in like cover bands
Nice.
with rock cover bands.
Okay.
So I don't know, I'm like all across the board of genres. So I just was any opportunity that I could get, I was like, okay, heck yeah, you want to make a band? Let's sing. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go perform. So
That's awesome. One last question about the high school years and earlier before we move on. But like, was there anything about like the way they were teaching it or like the type of classes that they had that like made you want to keep doing it? Because like choir's not necessarily
For everyone.
mhm,
But
mhm.
you know, what about it made you want to keep doing it?
Like, was the teacher that dope, or was it just your passion for it?
Yeah, I would say the teacher was incredible. I'm going back to my high school choir director. I don't know if it was entirely her, because mind you, a lot of what I worked with in my up and coming was like middle-aged women that just wanted to like go home. They're like, it's just like enraged. They just had that like don't mess with my time feel about them. And this one in particular, bless her heart, she is just like so intense. And I think it's that excellence that I live for. Like you walk in the door and you just know you are coming to show up.
Right.
You're coming correct, and like, why not try your best?
That's
Sounds
awesome.
cheesy.
Yeah,
but,
who would have
like,
thought you'd learn that in a choir class?
No,
That's so cool.
Seriously.
Yeah, and it's and then it adds on to it because you got so and so spreading rumors, somebody else is gossiping. Like choir can just be so dramatic. But it makes you live for it that much more too.
Right.
On
Makes
the
you
same
feel
side.
alive.
Yeah. And I don't know, I was also pretty fortunate with I went to a bigger school. We had some pretty cool opportunities. Like we sang as a choir with like this gospel choir, and we got to sing just like, I don't know, just all those different kinds of that access that you get is just really, really cool. It's really entitling sometimes, but other times it's it's humbling in the same sense.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm just asking, maybe there's music teachers listening. It's like kids will want to do it if the conditions are right, I feel
Oh
like.
yeah.
So
And they're core memories. So
that's huge. That's sweet.
But stayed with the music, kind of left the stage, left the boards, I should say. Didn't continue treading the boards, but continued singing. You had mentioned the cover bands. You had mentioned singing around the Mankato area.
yes, sir.
You had mentioned running into a certain demo.
Yes, that lovely old chap.
And I was just going to ask, what do you think your life would have continued being if you didn't cross paths with Demo and that whole crew? Do you think you'd still be a lead singer of a cover band? Do you think you'd be a telemarketer? You know what I mean? Do you think you would have
Right.
continued on with your passion?
Yeah. I think it would have definitely panned out different. It kind of saddens my heart to say that I wouldn't be doing music if it weren't for that interaction. But you never know. Like I'm a firm believer in believing that you're always one interaction away from changing your life, good or bad. So I think had I not met him, I probably would have been like a struggling SoundCloud rapper. So I'm now a certified Spotify rapper.
Ayo.
So but
Moving
yeah.
up, boy. Moving up.
Moving up. Yeah, speaking of
Seriously.
SoundCloud, we found some old stuff. You had mentioned them earlier. That I think there's 3 instrumentals on there: Ambition, Inspirational, and Peppy. Which
They
is
dope.
awesome.
Yeah, they're dope. Seriously. We were
Hey,
hopping
thank
to them
you.
earlier today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And so that was in 2017. So back in the day, did you switch up and like start looking for beats, or what was the were you trying to make beats for yourself or just kind of farting around with it?
I was trying to make beats for myself, and I
Tight.
think, you know, back in my days of locally networking, you know, not going to the cities to find a studio, not doing whatever, there's a lot of word of mouth. So I would only make beats for myself, but then like some friends would find out, hey, can you make a beat for me like this and
Whoa.
whatever, and then you know, I'd have family too that which just like egging me on, but I was like, okay, let me show you what I can do. And
Yeah.
I'm just beat boop boop bop beat like on my iPhone 5 on GarageBand, you know, like
Okay.
yeah. So it wasn't much, but it just it was an outlet.
No, that's fun. And then the last one on SoundCloud that you were saying might not be there after a while is Let Go. And that's a nice one too, but
Thank you.
that was the last then there's another gap. So like I could understand why you would want to start fresh with First Take.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little about First Take and like why that is gonna be the baseline, like the start of the.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where I had the first session. Like I, previously have those former singles that I am considering taking down just because like it was raw. It was
Mhm.
everything that I did by my entire self.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a testament to doing that and doing that for me and whatnot. But
Totally.
it's not mixed. It's
Mhm.
not mastered. It's not, it's not not professional.
Yeah.
Not in the whole eyes of the industry, not and yeah, like I'm swayed in my opinion just cuz like like other people are listening to it, but it's like okay. Like I can put a little money down to get this sounding better for people's ears, for people's consumption to
Mhm.
take it in, especially if I want it to be the best version of itself, you
Right.
know? So, yeah.
But if you take it down, don't delete it. Is all
No,
I gotta
keep it
say.
for yourself at
Exactly,
least,
so you
right,
can
right.
go
Most
back.
definitely. It's just like years from now, people hear that they're like, "Wait, hey yo," like, and cool, but at the same time, it's like, "Ooh, I can't let all the ears hear that."
Wouldn't want it to be the first song somebody hears. And
Exactly.
that's what I assume is First Take. You're cool with people finding that first. That's
Yeah.
the jumping off point.
I would say so. Yeah. So that it was monumental just because I remember the feelings that I was feeling in that song, like, and it translates directly to the booth and onto the song when you stream it. Because like, I was laughing. I was legit just laughing on the mic, but I didn't really care, and nor did the other people in the studio care. Like we were just like, hey, like keep it going, keep it rolling, and really I think it's that step that, like I said, propelled me to have that laid back nature, to have that. I'd like to think I'm more of a positive person, and to just put that out into the world. So I was like, okay, let's do this.
Nice.
Yeah.
But picked it up pretty quick. It wasn't like a terrible first experience in the booth or anything like that. Or
Couldn't feel
came back the
pressure.
second time doing stuff way different.
Oh no, so I'm actually I'm actually out of myself here, but I came to my very first studio unannounced.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
like knocked on the window, or
I legit like opened the door. I bummed in on somebody's like this poor dude's studio session.
Oh no.
And I was like, "Hey, I'm here because I just wanted to check out the place. I was like, oh, I could just stop in,
See what up.
say what up, yeah." And then I just like I see this giant red bar that is stretching, and I realize that the recorder. I'm like, oh no. And I was like, hey. They're like, hi. I remember Demo looks at me, he's like, can I help you?
Oh no.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm here to record. He's like, okay. Once you want to come back at like, in a few hours? I was like, okay, yeah.
That's tight.
And yeah, no, I make sure to book it in advance next time. But yeah,
You came back 2 hours later.
impromptu, and yeah, it was an experience. He brought like his buddies. He's like, hey, yo, get down here right now. You gotta come check this out.
Oh, nice.
So it was
the full
intense.
experience.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So
Did you have the beat for that song before you went to the studio?
at that point, I did.
Nice,
Yep,
nice.
yep. At that point, I did. I was like, okay, I'm looking up YouTube tutorials, how to get better, how to
Yeah.
improve my craft, because all I knew was like, okay, I can write, and if it rhymes, cool.
Right.
And
Step one.
yeah, and then I was like seeing some stuff on social media. It's like, you need to practice, you need to be prepared. And I think, my lack of preparation there was just speaking volumes. Because I rehearse in the theater. I rehearse in the choir and the band, everything like that. So I only gotta do what's right and have everything that I can, as much as I can prepare. Be prepared.
And-
It's not always a set in stone. It's not always
Right.
a given. But I was like, okay, like, at least for my first time. Like,
And I mean, made a good enough impression with the talent and with that social connection. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you're still tight with Demo.
yeah,
You're still
talk
tight
about
with
first
those
impressions,
guys.
right?
Yes.
So yeah, thank you.
That's so cool. Again, as fans, to hear, literally what I'm picturing is the biopic scene. You know what I mean? Of
Mhm.
those paths crossing, and then that juicing the creativity for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Almost definitely.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
Beautiful.
So
beautiful
that song
collaboration.
dropped January 2022. So
It did.
that's interesting. Was it
I
had
feel
you had
older.
it done for a while before you dropped it, or what was that like? And like, how much did you like send it to all your friends and family as soon as it was on available?
Or did you hide it?
I was hiding it for a while, just a little while, because I had to figure out how to dang near distribute music.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
know?
and when you recorded the song, were you HIGHQ? Did you already know? Did you have the name written?
At this point, yes, I was
Okay.
HIGHQ at
What-
first take.
Where'd you come up with that name, and had you gone through any other drafts of the name?
Yeah.
Even if it was just the name that you thought you were when you wrote a song. I don't know.
Yeah.
We
no,
like
yeah.
to know all the original names because
Most
they're pretty
definitely.
funny sometimes.
I would say I definitely had some revelations.
Okay.
Okay.
Some origin stories. I think, I mean, I like the idea of having my name.
Mhm.
Bryson Tiller, Childish Gambino is changing. Did you hear he's changing back to just Donald Glover?
That's pretty
So
cool.
Donald Glover, Caleb Gamson.
Right.
Shout out to the locals. I was like, yeah, like this is cool. Like this represents who I am in my musicality. Like why not just keep my name? But then I don't know. I look at different artists and the artists and just I mean, for example, like Smino.
Mm. Not even two names.
Not it. No.
Yeah.
On everything I love, I wouldn't name my kid Smino. So, but like, it's a cool name,
Right.
and it. I don't know. I represent myself better with a stage name because it's like okay, there can be a lot of different things attached to Spencer Quorum,
Mm.
to my name. It's oh, you hear that Spencer made a song? Yeah, okay. But then like, okay, HIGHQ. And
Mhm.
I don't know, in a way it gives me that stage presence. It gives me that sort of a connection, the theatrics, and it gives me just like that persona. It gives me something to strive for.
Yeah, I was gonna ask just based on the persona,
Mhm.
does it help you like, embody other perspectives when you write, or?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's really fun because I enjoy using my acting muscle every now and then because it's not faking an emotion. It's not it's finding it in a way. So it's like I'm telling you right now, okay, be sad. Ready, set, go. Like you can't just really do that. You
You're gonna appear, right?
appears, but
But
like
finding it,
to find it. And I find that in my music, in the moods and the vibes that I want to curate.
Whoa.
But also the character, what HIGHQ finds, what he feels, stuff like that.
That's cool. When you're writing these songs, is there a way that you can like make a note of like how you were feeling so you remember by the time you get to the booth, or is it just kind of a matter of doing it as soon as possible after you write a song?
Oh, I like both methods. I like the spontaneity, but also I'm quite the perfectionist that I'd be like, oh no, like we gotta go back and do it again. Oh, we gotta, So I do like the spontaneity because there's like some raw nature to it, and I'm not always gonna be sad from now until next January.
Right.
Like I gotta capture it in a bottle in a way, and I'm a believer that like music or any art, what you feel is just like a reflection of who you were in the moment. So.
Beautifully said. We are sitting down with HIGHQ here on DogStar. Got to take a break in about 45 seconds. Where can they follow HIGHQ?
Oh, HIGHQ.music, HIGHQ.music on Instagram, and then HIGHQ, all one word, everywhere. That's where you find them everywhere. Stream his music. Check out the F3 Freestyle official Cypher video.
The third one, the second one.
Yeah, during the break. But we'll be right back. Make sure you follow us, DogStar Podcast. Leave a comment down below if you know this guy. Say what up. Maybe leave an embarrassing moment so I can laugh at it later.
We'll be right back. Bow wow.
Bow wow. Bow wow.
Welcome back to DogStar. We're sitting down with HIGHQ.
Or Q for short.
Or Q for short.
Whatever tickles your fancy.
Oh, that's good.
So we're talking about first time in the booths, lessons learned. Were you pretty much a pro then for recording Take It Lightly? Like, was it like second nature to you by that point?
Nah.
I'm still new to the whole process.
I mean, like, I'm familiar with, like, what I'm capable of.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that I was, and I could tell. You could tell in the booth that I was still new to the environment.
And then Demo's on the track, as well as FNF, Sachi, and Odd Cole. Were you guys all in the studio at the same time when you were recording that song?
We were. That was a party. We brought the bottles, and yeah, I had a great time.
That's rare.
Was it like a one night let's write it, or were you guys all working on your verses separately and then came together?
Well, here's the thing, we're professionals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, I had something written up. You guys wanna check it out? We can schedule a time in the booth. They're like, yeah, that sounds good. And we get there, and then we're taking turns for each 8 bars that we have, and they're like, okay, hold on, let me go write this real quick. Let me go. We'll switch. And yeah, so I think it was a little half and half.
That's sweet.
But we're professionals, so that's we're very prepared. We're very
nothing will throw off the groove.
No.
I wanted to ask about the professional approach and putting together the roster for the second Forever Freestyle that you were a part of with the whole crew. Obviously you made a great impression on them. You're hanging out with them, recording stuff in the studio. Did they pitch you? Were they like, hey, you want to hop on this track? Or did you have to ask?
I'm trying to remember. I think we just had the crazy idea of like, oh, who all does music in Mankato? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's make a banger.
Whoa!
And I think it was really just a lot of folks who been working with Demo, so that was a huge connection there, and just being able to come together and go to his studio and make something, because I wouldn't say everybody. I mean, there's people that were unaware, people that were undiscovered, and then also people that were like unable to, whether it be like financially or they didn't have the time.
Exactly.
So it was just, but like after the first one, everybody was like, hey, we gotta get in this.
Heck
So it wasn't really a question. Like, if you could make it, you were there.
That's huge. Yeah, and that's crazy. I don't have the list of artists for the Forever Free Freestyle 2, but Forever Free Freestyle 3 has like 1 million artists on here.
It's wild. Like, I hope there's going to be a Forever Free Freestyle 4, 5, 6, 7, forever.
We're getting the whole universe on it. Come hop on.
I
Oh,
wouldn't
that's
doubt
so
it.
cool.
No, it's
And-
it's a fun process. Like we do it all like in a matter of a day or two.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Recording and shooting video, or just recording?
Yeah, recording and shooting video. Like
You're
we do that
blowing
same
my
day.
mind.
We do that same day.
That's Hollywood. No, definitely like a peek behind the curtain, because
Oh yeah.
it looks effortless, but again, you're professionals. This isn't your first rodeo.
Well, thank
So
you.
it's like you all are there to do a job. That job
Appreciate
is to creatively express yourself, but still,
Oh yeah. No,
that blows my mind in a day, man. That's
it's
so
it's
cool.
fun. It's like it's just that's my definition of a dang project.
Yes. Oh, that's so huge. In case you're wondering where we are on the timeline, Forever Free Freestyle 2 came out March 1st, 2024.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think you're talking about Forever Free Freestyle 3.
Oh, what did I
Yeah.
say, 2?
You said Forever Free Freestyle 2.
Oh, I'm surprised I didn't say Forever Free Freestyle 4. 'cause that's-
Exactly.
what I was
That's
saying.
coming up. Forever Free Freestyle 2 was July of 2022.
Yep, bridging the gap a little bit.
And I wanted to ask if Solid as Soul was a similar process, or that was less of like the cipher format, more of the you've got a few weeks to write some bars.
Oh yeah, I would say it would be a few weeks to write some bars.
Okay. Just because that's a huge roster as well of people.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that was a fine collection. That was a fun one too.
Was it like intended to be released for the holidays, the
holidays,
holidays?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, tell
it
me.
was. Yeah, word. But yeah, I think it was one of F3's first projects, Demo's like project that he was conceptualizing with that idea, especially like with the holidays.
Right.
Yeah, you kind of find that a lot in music, and particularly our little circle. So, yeah, it was kind of a given, but it was a fun process. He sent the beat to me, and I was literally like donating plasma at this time, and I was like just on my deathbed, just like looking at this beat. I'm like, oh, and I have like one arm. I'm just let me get to typing. Let me start writing to this. It's so good, and we brought it to his house instead of the studio. It was just a very like mobile and we did it everywhere. We did it in the studio, recorded my verse at his house. Like it's I don't know.
Organic. That's so cool.
Organic, yeah.
I mean, speaking of Nico, did you meet Nico through the F3 boys as well? Or?
Oh yeah. So my buddy, he's an F3, Caleb Gamson.
Yeah.
So I knew him.
Friend
We
of
went
the
to
show.
college together.
Okay,
We were singing in the same choir for a little while.
No way.
Yeah, and we never he was tenor, I was bass.
Okay.
So we never like sang together in the same practices and stuff, but we were performing, enjoying being, goon squad together. He introduced me to Nico.
Okay.
And then we had just a success with open mics, and we all started just chilling. They had the larger commute. It was just a drive, 5 minutes down the block for me at the bar. But yeah, I met him. We all hit it off. We just kept on performing. We're like, hey, the classic, let's make music sometime. Hey, let's make music sometime. Started recording each other. We just grew, just at the blink of an eye. So
I bring it up because your phenomenal feature on Four Seasons on one of Nico's most recent projects that's a vibe.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a very, very tight song, and I think your guys' voices complement each other very, very well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate, Nico, he had just this pizzazz about it. He was like, hey, man, get over here. Get to the stew right now. What are you doing? Get over here. And we just started recording, and it meant a lot, and I enjoy when it means a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that we kind of we've touched on, but it's got to feel fulfilling when you release a song to the world, or even finish a song that you're planning on releasing. Is there anything else in the world that you can compare that like value to, that emotional value, or
When it comes to like releasing?
Yeah. Just like, or does it feel good when you release a song, or are you nervous for the 3 weeks that it's released, or is it a relief?
I think part of me does seek that validation a little bit.
Mhm.
Oh, do people think this is good? Do people understand it? Do people, does it resonate with anybody? Like I would hope. But then it's sort of in that disparity that I also have to remind myself, okay, no, it's not that deep. Like there is no better feeling when I do it for me. And when I was recording 4 Seasons with Nico, I just remember I got all dressed up. I was feeling myself. And the studio was hot. And I still put on a flannel.
Oh.
And it was the best decision I ever made. So don't worry. But it was just a surreal feeling because I went in, I spazzed, I went crazy on the mic, and then I like walked out. They're like, okay, like that's good. I perfected my takes a little bit, but I was like, no, hey, go back in there for this part. Go back in there for this part. You sure about that? I just was
One and done.
Yeah.
Well, theoretically, but
in theory.
but not letting
That's
it
what
weigh
you
you
hear.
down. Seriously, I mean, some
Yeah.
people will never finish writing a song because they're too critical of themselves.
Right. And it was so fun to walk in and walk out, and then I knew weeks later that it would just be beautiful.
I don't mean to freak you guys out. We've only got about 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, and I'm sure the fans are dying to know, if there's anything on the horizon. Anything coming up later this year, maybe next year?
I'm glad you asked. Later on in the early year, we have a project with me and a buddy who's also in F3. He goes by Third Degree.
No way.
We have a project that that's coming out as we made it in a car.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
henceforth came the name Drive Vibes.
Oh, you are hearing it now on DogStar.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your ears peeled.
Later this year,
Yes,
we
sir.
can
Yes,
expect
sir.
it. We can
It
hold
is
you
getting
to
mixed
it.
and mastered as we speak.
Oh, baby.
My producer is in Norway right now, so we gotta get some things done. But
And
we'll
it's
get there.
it's car on the photo, Drive Vibes, made in a car. Can I assume it's music to be listening to in the car? Like,
Yeah.
is that where you would, is that the kind of mood?
Oh yeah, I would say it's for a road trip. It's for just a chill jam sesh. It's for the holidays. It's a very laid back project.
Fun.
And
Yeah.
quickly, what mood is First Take? Or before we listen to these 2 songs
Oh,
in
right.
about 30 seconds.
Chill pop.
And how about Take It Lightly?
That would be romantic festivities.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
lock in.
Seriously, get ready to have your ears blown. We can't thank you enough for sitting down with us, with the fans, for giving us a little exclusive sneak peek as to what's on the horizon. It's been a pleasure.
Well, thank you. Likewise to you guys.
Hey, no problem. Follow HIGHQ on Instagram at HIGHQ.music, HIGHQ.music. Follow them everywhere. HIGHQ, one word. Follow us, DogStar Podcast. And we'll see you next week.
Bow
Thanks
wow.
again so much.
Bow wow.
What the hell was that? Yeah. Freaking kidding me? All right.
Damn, this the first take. I'ma keep it short, got a lot on my plate. Not in the beef, not really drinking, yay. I feel no way, don't like the child's play. I could come up in a week, can you pick up the pace? Forget I said anything, we can just wait. It's a long run, so I'm not about to race. And if you're on one, we can chill in outer space, yeah. And if you're not, I hope you catch a drift. Feeling fly, mythical, yeah, you get my gist. I got accolades hanging from my neck and from my wrist. Looking at the way I work, you think I'm taking it, but I'm not. I'm just on some happy living life like it's the finale and we can take a break, spend a couple good days, yeah. Feeling wavy, kinda crazy how you got me levitating on some sappy as of lately. I've been kicking it like I'm doing daily on some nappy shit. Now I don't mind if the world seems to grow around me, even at my worst. Damn, it's a mistake to not think doubt of me was just self-hate. To get the bigger picture, you need to see straight. In this world, there's no need to be afraid. Stay true to yourself, yeah, I know it's cliche. Believe that things change, we can go a long ways. Through a few bad times, I've been sturdy all day. Mom, don't know that I can reciprocate. I can reciprocate. I got them guessing like I need a minute, wait. Take my time, but you still a little late. Like damn, like damn, like. Oh man, okay. I got the energy. I got the energy. I got the energy, I got the recipe, I got the friends, I got the enemies. Changing my style, I'm moving different. I can get into it, I know who wasn't, and I know who wasn't, and I know who with me. And I can admit it, it ain't no biggie. And I'm gonna party, and I'm gonna tilly. I'm really into me, you can call it intimate. That's it. Kinda crazy how you got me levitating. As of lately, I've been kicking it like I'm doing daily.
I'm so sick of these people. You know, oh!
Girl, looks like you do not know how to settle. Girl, how could you not have known any better? Yeah. Sure, now you see that you come to your senses. Oh no, but there ain't no time for second guessing. So what's the move? I'm waiting on you. So what's the move? I'm waiting for you. I don't do love conditional. I don't do love conditional. Baby, I don't do love conditional. I don't do love conditional. Wait. Oh, I see you taking it slow. I just wanna see a different side of you. Baby, just take it lightly. Just take it lightly. Take it lightly.
Kissing on me, girl, don't stop. I love the way you move on the beat and I catch. Rock on the waves on the boat on the yacht. Girl, come give me everything, all that you got. She wanna be my little thing, hand on her hand. Me a buy she a wedding ring. No light at this time with my girl, in no suffering. No day bad mind with the chopper, it's not stuttering. Oh no, so what's the move? Touch and groove, in love with me, nothing else to prove. I'ma hold your heart, protect that too. So baby girl, so what's the move?
I'm waiting on you. So what's the move? I'm waiting for you. I don't do love conditional. I don't do love conditional. Baby, I don't do love conditional. I don't do love conditional. Wait. Oh, I see you taking it slow. And I just wanna see a different side of you. Baby, just take it lightly. Just take it lightly. Take it lightly.
Lightly take it to your favorite place to eat. We've been part to say your house, but we can't seem to leave your street on our nine. Breaking down, you try to freak me out and say things like maybe, baby, now I don't know how. A vision, perfect melody telling me you a specialty. Feeling more like a penalty, loving me without empathy. Your hesitation lately got me going kinda crazy. Cause even when you're spacey, you know everything amazing. So I promise I will do whatever it takes. Earn every bit of loving that your heart can make. The way to be worth it, all your pain will cure it. Cause we go together better than coffee out of the Keurig.
What's the move? I'm waiting on you. So what's the move?
What's the move?
I'm waiting for you.
See, I'm waiting on you.